This is the first lecture. We will give introduction. And so my name here, and also you can contact me via email or WeChat. Actually, we already established the WeChat group, so it's very easy for us to communicate at any time. Okay. So now we have an overview of the course. In this introduction, we'd like to cover the following topics. The first is about the course objectives, what we're going to reach, what we can get from this course. So that's the objectives we'd like to outline. Then we're going to discuss about textbook and the references. It's so important for us to use a good textbook and also to read more references to support our study, to support our discussions. Then we're going to discuss about assessment. Assessment is always essential for us to know what we have done, what we have achieved, what we have really received from this course. Then number 4, we will do a little bit exercise, so-called thinking activity. Then after the thinking activity, we'd like you to do a so-called mindset self-test. So this self-test will indicate your mindset at the moment about the critical thinking skills or critical thinking ideas. Then we will conclude with the group discussion. We will have group discussion at the end. Okay, that's the overview of this lecture. The course objectives is not difficult to comprehend. It's very straightforward. Only 5 objectives. The first one, there are a number of core skills of critical thinking we need to understand, we need to discuss, we need to practice all together to enhance our understanding of critical thinking. Then we need to utilize the critical reasoning, use certain logic ways to sharpen our thinking. Also, critical thinking is closely linked to creative thinking. So we want to combine these two together to see some new possibilities. Then also need to identify certain benefits of critical thinking, so we can enjoy such benefits. Then finally, we like to see how to comprehend problem-solving abilities. So that's the course objectives we like to achieve together with our group, with our class. Textbook. and the references. The textbook we're going to use is written by Brown and Kelly. So the title is Asking the Right Questions, A Guide to Critical Thinking. So with this textbook, I will give you a free copy, the e-copy. So what I'm going to do is after the lecture, I will upload this textbook to our WeChat group, so you can use it and right away. So that's the textbook we're going to use. And there are one another textbook, but we're not going to use it. You can use it as reference, but this book is written in Chinese. If you wish to use your Chinese language skills, definitely this is the one you can use. Read through as by Xie Xiaoqing. Xie Xiaoqing is a professor at Beijing Normal University, also a friend of mine. We're working together for some time. He wrote the book about 3 years ago. The Chinese title is 审辨式思维, and you can get this book from bookstore. I'm not sure whether this book is available or not in ebook form, but easily, if you're in China, to get it from library or from bookstore, or you can order it online. Then there's a website. The website I would like to recommend. There are many websites about critical thinking, but this one is easy to reach, also easy to remember. Most importantly, this one actually got plenty of information. There's online course, online materials. You can go through, no problem. This website is the official site for the Critical Thinking Foundation in America. They have established the organization for a long time, at least 20 or 30 years. Okay, now we come to more references. This is the book cover of the textbook. This is the textbook or reference in Chinese. This is the website you can go to. Now, we'll come to very important topic, that is assessment. I suppose everyone would be more keen to know how the assessment, which we can work together. So due to the problem with no face-to-face teaching, so this time with our assessment, we're not going to have classroom examination. We only have online work together. So there's 3 assessment tasks we'd like you to carry out. The first one is research essay for each of you. The topic is how can critical thinking be developed for my academic study. Okay, that's the topic. You can use a different title for your essay. It's about 3,000 words. The value is 50%. So this one, you need to submit via internet, and they should send it to my email or to my personal WeChat. We're going to arrange that later on to be submitted by Tuesday, October 27. That's the deadline for this essay task. Then after submission of your essay, there will be oral presentations. Everyone need to give 5-minute talk on your essay. So the value is 10%. The presentations to be scheduled on Wednesday, October 28, and Friday, October 30. We will use 2 sessions for the oral presentations for each of you. Then the number 3 task is a group project. So we will have 3 to 5 people as a group, and the topic for the group is to ask and answer questions about an issue in daily life with critical thinking skills. So every student in the group need to contribute 1,000 words. The value is 30%. The deadline is Tuesday, November 3rd. Also, with this group project, and the area group will be required to give oral presentations. So again, 5-minute talk for each member, and the 10% to be scheduled on Wednesday, November 4th, and Friday, November 6th. Actually, November 6th is the final lecture of this course. So we're going to conclude on that day with the final oral presentations. We will see. I suppose the 2 days, 2 times would be good enough for us to finish the oral presentations. So that's the assessment tasks. If you have any questions, please ask me anytime. Later on, we will arrange some special workshops for the assessment tasks. Okay? Now we'll go a little bit more. Yes?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
This assignment includes how much marks for the finals? Like, it includes how much marks from the total number?
Which one?
These assignments.
Yes.
How much marks they include to total number of the final exam?
There's no final exam. That's all.
This is
just
all
the assessment tasks. There's no final exam. No exam.
Okay, Rashtra, thank you.
Okay, no exam. You can see here, 50% for your essay, 10% for your presentation. That's 60%. Then the group project, also 40%. Total 100% already. So there's no final exams. Okay. So as I already said, because we don't have classroom teaching, there's no classroom activities, including the final exam all gone. We just use the essay and the oral presentation. Okay. Now we go to more detail about the research essay. So with your research essay, you need to cover the following 3 aspects. First one is what are the key questions to be asked and answered for my academic study. So for example, if you're doing economics, then there's certain questions you need to select about this field. It's the important questions you need to deal with. Okay. Then the second part is to concentrate on the issue or the question, which critical thinking skills are important and useful for asking and answering some relevant questions for my academic studies. Then part 3, how to develop and use critical thinking skills to answer the questions which are important to my academic study. So there's 3 parts you need to think about how to start your research and writing. Okay, this is the personal essay. Then we come to the group project. As I said, we will have 3 to 5 persons for one group. So maximum 5 people, minimum 3 people as a group. So each person will need to concentrate on one of the 5 areas. Okay, so that's the 5 topics or 5 parts for your group to organize, to work together. We will deal with the group projects later on during this afternoon. After break, we will discuss more with the so-called breakout room for each group to discuss for the first meeting. Okay, we'll do that later on. Now, we'd like to have some fun about one activity we like to do, so-called thinking activity. As we concentrate on critical thinking, so the course is actually, if we simply put, is just thinking about thinking. I suppose everyone, every day, we are doing thinking all the time. But how about thinking about thinking? Maybe you haven't done much for every day or for any time. So the question is, if we do some thinking about thinking, the first question to come up is that, is anything more important than thinking? Think about. That's the question. The next question to be associated about thinking is anything important that is not connected with thinking. So these 2 questions, I'm not sure whether you ask yourself before or not. Maybe you not, but now it's time for you to ask the questions and try to get your own answer, because this is the so-called thinking activity. Okay. Now we'll go with the activity. So let's start thinking. So we're going to ask you to list anything more important than thinking. You should mention 4 things you think more important than thinking. Think about once you figure out the 4 things more important than thinking, you just write it down, or in the chat, you just write your 4 words. Okay, we're going to start now. Just check. Once you've figured out, just write down in the chat room so everyone can share your ideas. Okay? So once you're finished, just wait. We're going to discuss about your ideas. So anything you think more important than thinking, put in, but you just write down 4 things. Everyone got it? Or still thinking? So let's continue with my work. I have 3 groups of things I suppose maybe more important than thinking or connected to thinking. So the first group, I would like to recommend this 4: money, good job, nice house, new car. So this is all about material life, okay? The material conditions that may be more important than thinking, but think about whether more important or not. You judge. The second group I like to mention is more about the body, yourself, breathing, eating, exercising, mating. This is more about life. Is more important than thinking or not? Then the third group I like to recommend as goodness, life, love, truth. So this is the so-called spiritual things. So whether this kind of things more important than thinking or not is for you to judge, for you to think about, for you to argue. I will not going to discuss everything in detail, but put the question to you. Maybe you can choose something more important compared as listed here. Okay. So what are we going to do after the break? After the break, we're going to have two activities. One is called critical thinking mindset self-test. So this test is designed to get to know your own mindset and also to have some initial understanding how critical thinking will affect your everyday life. Okay, then we would like to use this self-test to encourage you to be more active in critical thinking. So that's the self-test all about. The self-test will have 20 questions. At the end, everyone